Make every night a wonderful journey, no matter where you are. Good night, sweet dreams. The first story, the Chernobyl experiment. Warning, classified material assigned to Sue Branch 10, SEC 9,343,000 for 105 C, 7/15/1997. The following pages have been copied from a journal that was recovered in the Chernobyl nuclear power plant at Pripyat, Ukraine by us Strike Team sent in 3/8/1997. A slug one due to the amount of radiation on in the journal. I will not have enough time to include every entry, only the main parts. Today, the SU assigned my research team to Chernobyl. AVA are requested that we should be airdropped in, as always, request granted. I must say, I'm kind of nervous due to the high radiation levels in that place, and the hazmat suits aren't ventilated. Oh Jesus. This is going to suck. It's 10:30 and I have to rest. I've got a big day tomorrow. We're on the helicopter right now, and the sky looks like a sheet of grey. We've been in the air for 2 hours now, and the DTA is 10 minutes. I'm scared and regret taking this job now. Alright, we're on the ground, but we didn't land. Our helicopter's motor gave out as soon as we flew over the outskirts, almost like we were pulled down. I swear, I saw something fly past the helicopter. The pilots dead and the rest of us are pretty beat up. There's no backup generator in the heli for the radio, so now we're virtually stranded. We head back through the woods, but the radiation level is too great and we're about 100 miles from any town that isn't covered in nuclear fallout. As we set up camp for the night, we saw old, dried blood on the floor and walls of the nearby hospital. Nothing unusual, I guess. I don't know what's going on, but it's scary. It's morning. Last night, I kept hearing strange noises. It was almost as if something was being dragged across a rusty metal floor. Must have been an Yakut is trying to contact HQ with the emergency radio, but there's no response. I'm so tired of this suit, and a crashed helicopter is not the best place to sleep. My head hurts and my legs ache of non-stop walking. 3 days have passed and no response from HQ. I wonder if our radio code is cut off or it needs to be updated. Either way, we're not getting any evac. I'm starting to smell like a dead animal. I just need a shower. Our food is starting to disappear and one of our squad members is starting to go insane. He said that when he was on guard duty last night, he saw a young boy with no arms and no eyes walking in the west courtyard. Maybe our destiny is to go crazy. I sure hope not. Yakut and I woke up to gunshots in the morning, and our food and most of our ammo is gone. I wonder if daughter took it. We are going to look for him right now and investigate. My skin is becoming itchy, and the smell is horrible. We went to the building that Yakut suggested. We made contact with that thing that Tatar saw. There's more than one and they're all hostile. None of them look the same. We managed to kill one of them. It almost looked like a spider, with an infant's body and face. The eyes were split in half and the legs were extremely elongated, almost around 4 feet each. No matter how much we shot it, it wouldn't go down. Take off the limbs, it won't kill them right away, but it leaves them immobile soon. They will bleed out, as the one we injured bled out. It let out a blood-churning scream. It sounded like 6 voices at once, almost impossible to describe. We also found Totter's body. His face was all mangled and his gun It was in pieces scattered across the floor. As I was writing my last entry, Yakut and I were ambushed. I ran to the nearest room. I guess that scream attracted more. That proves that whatever those are, they have the ability to communicate. Yakut. I locked the door too soon. I had to. I heard his AK go off and heard him run. Shit, they Ray trying to get in. I'm almost sure that I'm going to die here. There is no food and a bunch of things out there. I managed to see more of them. Tons of them. Most of them seem to be women and children with horrible deformations. I think they're victims of the accident. How can they stay alive? Some of them don't even have eyes. And others have such a thin skin you can even see their organs. Some are like spiders. Others are radiated to the point where you can't even tell they're human. I saw two to that had wings. I'm estimating around a 10 or 11 meter wingspan. And believe me, they can sure as hell fly. They have claws that are very thick, and around a meter long. Their entire rib cage is missing, replaced by thousands of fungus like strings that just dangle. It's an OTR for Jesus. This is like a never-ending nightmare. I have seen the devil that thing that took Yakut. That was no animal, as far as I can tell there. As only one of this kind. Just pale white, webbed fingers and feet. No reproductive organs. No arms, just hands coming out of the shoulders, no eyes. And the legs are reverse. Jointed, that is what fear looks like. I can't sleep. I am so afraid of them even though I can't see them at night. I'm still scared. The fear of death keeps me awake. I am so hungry, not as much thirsty. I've been drinking water from a broken pipe in here. Every time I take off my gas mask to drink, I get a headache. The radioactivity is killing me. I can hear babies crying. Are there survivors? No, not here. I think I'm going to sneak out tonight. If I can't see them, they can't see me. But what if they can smell me? I'll bring my AK-47 along just in case. I ventured down the hallway to the door at the end. It was locked, so I turned left in the first room to my right. I saw blood, organs, and cracked bones strewn all over. They weren't adult bones, they were infants. What kind of fucking sick creatures are these? This means only the most basic primal instincts are left in them. I want to die. This place is how literally my stomach burns. I must be sick. I can hear some of them sniffing the room's door. They know I am here and my skin is starting to become weak. The lightest touch bruises it. I'm scared. They were looking into the helicopter's wreckage. They took the pilot's body now. It's 130 m at least. That's what my watch says. I'm going to try and get some sleep. I just woke up. I can hear gunshots sit. It's not AK shots. There's bolt action and semi-automatic. It's not it. That's not Yakut. I can see shadowy figures outside with guns, then they vanished. I'm tired. I must be hallucinating. I think I'm insane. I'm going to help myself. I'm going to end this nightmare. I'm going to end it. Help myself. By ending it. There is a window in this room. And a balcony. A beautiful balcony. Oh, such a beautiful balcony. Almost perfect for jumping. The second story. Dancing down an Indian hallway in darkness. My cousin recently moved here from Second Rabbit, India, on a recent road trip exploring America. We were shooting the shit, exchanging ghost stories, and laughing at similarities and differences between American ghost stories and Indeed, and ghost stories. When I asked her if she's ever experienced anything supernatural, her eyes widened as she averted her eyes to the window. Just when the silence was about to be too much for me, she softly responded, "Yes. If you one is troubling, when I was a second year in college, I stayed at an all-girl hostel dorm. I made many friends. We were all very happy to be in school away from our conservative parents. The hostel was so much fun, but it was a very, very old building. Electricity was only put in the rooms. Sometimes candles were placed along the windows if a watchman was present, but normally once you left the rooms, you were faced with complete darkness. It's common to wake up someone if you needed to walk down to the restroom at the end of the hall. We all had a childish fear of being alone in the dark. One night, I had to use the restroom. It was about 4, and I went to my friend's bed and tapped her on the arm. She immediately opened her eyes as soon as I touched her. I apologized for bothering her and told her I needed to pee. She smiled at me and hopped out of bed. All the way down the hallway, she laughed and danced. I could not see her at all, but her bangles clanked together loudly, and the bells on her anklets jingled softly. It was very calming. I laughed and sashayed my hips down the hallway with her, too tired to match elaborate our movements. She said nothing to me, though occasionally I heard her hum one of our favorite Bollywood songs. The same thing happened on our return. I fell back asleep easily. I awoke fairly late the next morning to the sound of men in our room. They surrounded her bed. I bolted from my bed, prepared to protect my friend, when I realized they were administrators of the college. I peered over closer. My friend's lifeless eyes were fixated on my bed, the same smile on her face. Suicide. Her time of death was 11:30 p.m. and almost 5 hours before I woke her. The third story, the unwanted theory. The unwanted theory is the theory that there exists an infinite area existing all around us that is beyond the realms of human comprehension. This area is known simply as the realm. The main areas of the realm are inaccessible to average humans, and only when one is dead or already existing in them may they be seen. The reason for this is that the realm lies in the 4th dimension. Therefore, the main areas exist in directions incomprehensible to the average human mind. For this reason, the beings that populate it, known as the entities, exist only in the realm. These entities aren't human, nor do they share any manners, characteristics, or personalities as Earth's inhabitants. In fact, they are practically a different being altogether. The beings roam the realm and feed on belief. When you or any third-dimensional creature admit your allegiance with an entity either through physical action or mental decision, it grows in power. The entities will roam the realm of the mortals and will reveal their figures only when absolutely necessary. Because the entities can only show their full form in the 4th dimension, they can only reveal a fraction of themselves at a time. This can be through thought, real-world events, or physical contact. When someone becomes fully aware, or spiritually aware, that an entity is present in the realm, it grows in rank. When belief in the entity drops, so too does the rank of the entity. When an entity plummets to the lowest rank possible, its actions as a high-ranking entity are halted and it is given the option to restart his career and be forced to roam the realm as a petty entity, or return as a soul to what is known as an area. An area is a section of the realm which is owned or rented out by a high-ranking entity. This can be a heaven or a hell, as referred to by the humans, or a state of being, as is believed by other creatures of the third dimension. Mortals, when they die, are given the option to become an entity and begin wandering the realm, or become a soul and enter an area that is owned by their entity of choice. When a soul joins an entity in their area, the entity boosts incredibly in power to make an area appear more attractive. An entity will usually market their area as a peaceful place and make the experience of the area enjoyable. At any time, a soul is given the option to abandon their life in the area and become an entity, but most souls enjoy the area enough to stay. When an entity accumulates enough followers and reaches a high enough level in the realm, they begin to develop a strong and noticeable control over it. This control is subtle, as all entities own the realm in their own way, but strong enough to make small changes. They will be able to perform minor miracles, and if they have many followers, they are given the ability to enlighten certain individuals. It is then that an entity will begin to be known in the mortal realm as a god. Until then, an entity is normally referred to as a ghost or presence. The more well-known and popular an entity is in the third dimension, the more powerful it becomes in the realm. When it has reached a high enough level, an entity is given the choice to either stay itself and be able to develop more control over the realm as a whole, or specifically develop more control over the third dimension, almost to the point where they are able to inflict physical harm on certain individuals. So, my plea is this, to all paranormal fanatics who in the dead of night read over literature marketed towards those who will believe in them. Keep dismissing them as fiction, please. Keep dismissing the arguments regarding the story's legitimacy. Don't think too much about what the story suggests you do to summon the creature. If you see a flitter of unusually fast movement out of the corner of your eye, keep concluding that it was a trick of the light or your overactive imagination. And when you see one of them staring at you from down an arc corridor or in the shadows, who matches the depictions exactly of the creature you just heard of the creature, know that you can't believe everything you read about.